3, 2, 1, ready, start. The law of the land as applicable to the citizens of this country is to be followed uniformly except that the senior citizen, who are part of a preferred segment, are to be given priority only as per the terms of the Act of 2007. Stop. In terms of Rule 22, while the police is required to perform its duties and functions, and where they are dealing with the case relating to senior citizens, they must be cautious to look into the problems and complaints with sensitivity and expedition and act accordingly. Stop. It will be worthwhile to recall that Section 19 Roman 2 inter alia provides for the judicial officers to be sensitized to, so that in course of discharge of their judicial functions, if they come across matters relating to a senior citizen, they should be sensitive enough to accord appropriate priority as required, keeping the intent of the Act of 2007 in mind. Stop. Similar is the situation where a senior citizen who goes for his treatment to a hospital, then in terms of Section 20, necessary facilities on priority be given with need-based attention and sensitivity, to the senior citizens. Stop. It is in this context that Rule 22, which is titled Protection of Life and Property of Senior Citizens, has been placed in Chapter 6 of the Rules of 2014, and an obligation has been placed on the police authorities to ensure that preventive measures are taken for the benefit and protection of senior citizens, and the entire Rule 22 does not in any manner indicate or reflect any obligation imposed on the police authorities to carry out any remedial exercise beyond the already established framework of the forums created by law governing the citizens as a whole. Stop. At this stage, it will be relevant to ascertain what the word protection means. Stop. Simply put, the word protect means to cover, shield or defend from injury, harm or danger of any kind. Stop. The word protection is defined in the Black's Law Dictionary 10th edition is as under: a temporary protective order granted on an expedited basis. Stop. After an ex parte hearing, without notice to the other side, most commonly to provide injunctive relief from an abuser in a domestic violence case, a short-term restraining order that is issued at the request of a law enforcement officer in response to a domestic violence complaint from a victim who is in immediate danger. Stop. A victim of domestic violence can obtain an EPO only through a law enforcement officer. Stop. There is no notice requirement, but the abuser must be served with the order. Stop. The duration of an EPO varies from 3 to 7 days, depending on state law. Stop. Para. A protective order of indefinite duration granted after a hearing with notice to both sides, a court order that prohibits an abuser from contacting or approaching the protected person for a long period, despite the name, permanent orders often have expiration dates set by state law. Stop. An order may also require the abuser to perform certain acts such as attending counseling or providing financial support for the protected person. Stop. Para. Thus, the word protect implies protection, a cover, a shield, and in this case, for a specified class, which would be referable to the protection for senior citizens. Stop. Nevertheless, the word protect and the word protection, being its verb implies the act of protecting the life and property of senior citizens. Stop. This necessarily implies an anticipated move or an action done in preemption of an eventuality to ensure that the chance for such an eventuality is minimized. Stop. Apparently, it is all a preventive act and is in contradistinction to a remedial or a reactive action which may be necessary, once an eventuality occurs. Stop. Para. It will be relevant to notice that, comprehensive action plan, which is envisaged in section 22 bracket 2 bracket close of the Act, has been prepared by the state government via its government order dated 21st March, 2016, bearing number 8/2016/727/26-2-2016. Stop. If the policy or the action plan of the state government is seen, it would reveal that it envisages creation of a framework for providing effective and appropriate ecosystem inter alia for physical and mental health, economic security, shelter, welfare, and for providing essential needs for a senior citizen, as well as to protect them from being harassed and exploited, and such protection and facilities are to be given across the state, both in rural and urban areas. Stop. Para. The action plan details, setting up of old age homes at different levels, for providing healthcare at various levels, that is to say at commissionerate, district level, primary health centers, community health centers, and substations so that medical facilities is made available to the senior citizen at all levels stop. It also mentions about providing facilities for aging and geriatric health, and the state in furtherance thereof has created a department at King George's Medical University, Lucknow, called Center for Advanced Research in Aging and Geriatric Mental Health, where senior citizens suffering from dementia and Alzheimer are treated.